certain violations, and to keep in mind there are still state protections. So while it's a federal requirements and federal rules, the state laws, the state protections still apply too, because the federal laws kind of say, you know, in these evictions and everything, these housing authorities and project-based state landlords have to follow state and federal laws to try to give you the most protection is what the purpose of that is. And there are some state rules that require an opportunity to cure. So that is one thing to keep in mind too. Another thing to keep in mind, I mentioned this before last week, if you were there, that housing authorities, especially for public housing units, they have what's called an ACOP, and it is a policy manual that sets out what their policies are relating to public housing. Those things can be really helpful. They should give you access to review it or look at it. Some of them will have them online, and they are really, really helpful to be able to look up and go to some of these issues or some of these claims that a housing authority is making, and to be able to see, well, what's the housing authority's policy on that? What is the regulation they talk about? What's the policy? It's really an easier way to go and find that information, because under the regulations, especially the 24.966.4, that's from the Code of Federal Regulations, it does require them to use some discretion in how they're going to evict people. What that means is to look at the household's violation, what's going on with them, how it'll affect everybody, and they'll have a list of that in there where